Borderline, a Showrunners Radio production.
That I'm risking my professional reputation just to act on your hunch. You've no evidence that Leslie was even connected to the bloodbath.
Perhaps. Look, I know this might sound strange, but there was a connection between my victims in London. Each one had visited a Red Club prior to the murder. No one thought anything about it, because they were in separate locations.
They could be branching out. What makes these clubs so special anyway?
They're part of an alternate scene.
You mean S&M? Kinky?
No, not entirely. They're not your usual fetishists. Some of their practices are, well, a little extreme.
Clearly.
They've been the subject to intense scrutiny, but their management have heightened security, and it's difficult to gain access without a membership. The only way for an outsider to go through the door is a guest.
And that's what made you suspect Wrexham?
Eyewitnesses said he'd accompanied two of the victims on a date to the local Red Clubs. But he was on the books of the other three locations, the same night as the other victims. Circumstantial, but concrete.
So what do you hope to find tonight?
I'll take a look at the books to see if any of the names check out. Perhaps there's a familiar face.
But how do you know it's not just a copycat killer?
Unless the killer's a cop, which I doubt, then I'd say we're dealing with the same person.
Really?
She has the same brand on her ankle as the other victims. A small cross cut into the back of her heel. It's difficult to spot.
Then how come the coroner didn't say anything?
Because he wasn't looking for it. The cut was made before her death, not after.
Matthews is going to flip if he finds out you were involved with this. How do I explain my presence at the bloodbath?
Because Wrexham isn't the only one with a membership. Besides, I thought you were inviting me out for a drink.
So, did he take the bait?
It worked a treat. He's on the way with Arlington. He'd already made the connection. I just pointed him in the right direction.
Good to hear. I'll take care of things my end before heading back to base. I'll find their supplier and send you the details. Pull up all you can on her blood specs. We can track him by his.
I'm already ahead of you there. I have a list of 20 possible candidates. I'll look into them when I get back. Would you like me to put the kettle on while I'm at it?
Sure. I won't be long.
So when did you decide to join the alternate scene?
I didn't. The card's Wrexham's. I just borrowed it for a little while.
And that's not going to look suspicious at all.
What do you mean?
Didn't you hear? I thought you'd be the first to know.
What?
Wrexham died 5 hours ago.
What? What happened?
He committed suicide. He jumped from his living room window, 10 stories up. He was identified by his landlord and declared dead at 6:20.
He can't be. He called me up 3 hours ago. So, unless his corpse has got up to make a phone call, then I'd say Wrexham's still alive.
He called you and you didn't report it. Are you sure it was him?
Positive.
What did he say?
Not much. He said we'd be talking soon and he hung up.
Is that all?
He told me I didn't know what I was dealing with, but I'd soon find out. He told me I was in the right place for it. I think he's been watching me the entire time.
Do you know how crazy that sounds? Wrexham's brains were splattered all across the concrete by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Unless Wrexham has a twin that we don't know about, then I'm pretty sure he's dead. How would he get Anne's number anyway?
That's what I'm trying to piece together. Tell you what, have the media got out of this yet?
No, they're holding back until we can find out whether anyone else was involved. But there won't be a newspaper, television network or radio station that isn't raving about it by morning.
So his membership still stands. Good. That's all I need.
Sorry guys, you can't come in tonight. Private function.
But I'm a member. Hang on, I've got my ID, and she's my guest.
Sorry, Mr. Wrexham, but I'm under orders tonight not to let anyone in who isn't on the guest list.
Then I'd like to speak to the manager.
I'm sorry, but he's tied up at the moment.
Police orders.
What's this regarding?
We were out with your manager about to shed some light on a murder inquiry we're investigating. Do you know anyone by the name of Leslie Wilkins by any chance?
I wouldn't know her by name, but perhaps if you'd had a photograph. No, don't know her. But if you wait here, I'll fetch Mr. Pearson for you.
Would you kindly?
So much for Wrexham's membership. I knew that it wasn't going to work. Besides, you don't look a thing like Wrexham.
I'll take that as a compliment. It's good to have you with me. I forgot how easy it was to have a badge.
Well, perhaps if things go well tonight, they might reinstate you.
Not a chance in hell.
I apologise for the wait. You've caught me on one of our busiest nights. Please come inside. We wouldn't want you to catch a cold. I'm sure you're aware, Mr. McDonagh, some of the activities that occur within the confines of our catacombs.
You know me.
But of course, your investigation has been a point of interest for me, not only personally but professionally. It has even had an impact on how we maintain our business. In the wake of the Wrexham trials, we realised that our requirements for membership were too stringent. We allowed pretty much anyone to join, regardless of their background or mental history. Now our system has become more sophisticated. Please, this way. In here is where we keep every document pertaining every member who has joined our club within the last 2 years. Our most recent records can be found within this filing cabinet, whilst our CCTV footage and swipe system is maintained through our database, which you can access from this desktop. I'm keen to assist the police in any way I can, so please look through whatever it is you require.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. We'll only take up a little more of your time.
I'm sure I can trust you to maintain the order in this room. If you have any further questions, I will be in the private lounge upstairs, as I have business to attend to.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Pearson.
He seemed nice, didn't he?
A little too helpful, you ask me.
You're just embarrassed he recognised you and brought up Wrexham.
I suppose. Look, you take the filing cabinet and I'll look at the register and the CCTV.
Sure. Have you seen how thorough they are with their membership application? It asks for blood test and full psych evaluation as well.
It's also expensive. Damn, I can't find anything. Nothing on Leslie and no one standing out. I'll check the CCTV.
Hey, I might have something. She filed an application the day before she disappeared. Doesn't look like anyone followed her up yet. You see, there's a cross under denied.
At least that proves she was connected. What's the date on the application?
The 16th.
Good. I'll go and speak to Pearson. He might remember her, or at least know someone who does.
Do you need any help?
No, I'll be fine. Could you check out the CCTV for the 16th? We might be able to find a witness, or at least prove she was here. You never know. It might have captured the killer. Look for anything suspicious.
Will do.
Ah, I was wondering whether I'd get a chance to speak to you, Mr. McDonagh. Please come in, take a seat.
I'd prefer to go somewhere a little more private. I hope I'm not disturbing anything here.
No, there's no worries there. It's just a little card game between business associates, that's all. My office is just at the end of the hall.
So, do you host card games regularly, Mr. Pearson?
Only if business allows. We've been doing rather well of late, so seeing as there's a private party downstairs, I thought I would take the opportunity. I hope your investigation isn't going to put a damper on our recent success.
Let's hope not. I'd like you to answer some questions for me in regards to the disappearance and murder of Leslie Wilkins.
But of course, As I have demonstrated, I have nothing to hide.
Where were you on the 17th of September?
I was on a business trip. I boarded a flight to Morocco at 9:30 a.m. and arrived at my hotel by 2:30 p.m. local time. I returned 2 days ago. I heard no news of Miss Wilkins' disappearance or murder until tonight.
But you were aware that she had applied for membership to your club? Only a day prior to her disappearance?
I had spoken to Miss Wilkins once before when she inquired about the club's practices. She was well aware of our entry procedures and seemed to show some enthusiasm. However, her application wasn't sufficient due to her blood work.
What do you mean by that?
She was a diabetic, type 1 to be precise. We can't be held responsible for her condition. Our entry requirements clearly state under no circumstances are diabetics, drug users, pregnant women, or STD sufferers allowed to engage in our activities, for their own safety and the safety of others.
Sounds like you remember that word for word.
Well, it's my job to ensure the safety of my clients. Like it's your job to make sure you convict the right person.
What? What do you mean by that?
Or at least have enough evidence to make sure the right person doesn't slip through your fingertips. As I said, Mr. McDonagh, I followed your case with great interest. And I'm sorry to see that your key suspects slipped through your net of the law so easily, especially when it was in all of our interest to see him convicted.
So you knew him, did you?
Not personally, but when he was convicted, news spread from the other red clubs. He was passed around like a bad cold. From what I've heard about him, you were on the right track, Mr. McDonagh. You just couldn't grasp all the facts.
Then perhaps you would like to share some of those facts with me.
Another time, perhaps. I have to return to my poker game. Sorry I couldn't have been of more assistance.
One last thing. Could you tell me where your bathroom is?
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Hello, Roman.
Shit, I thought you were dead.
Clearly not. Now, Roman, we're going to play a little game. You're going to answer a few questions, and every time you fail to answer or lie, I'm going to cut something off. Now, who's your supplier?
I don't know what you're... Ah! You bitch! You fucking bitch!
Now, I'm going to ask you again. Who's your supplier?
Go to hell! Ah!
I'm already living it. Who's your supplier? Sooner or later, I'm going to run out of fingers and I'm not in the mood for toes. Better yet, why don't I just skip ahead now?
No! I'll tell you what you need to know. Anything, please!
Good, because you have about 2 minutes before you pass out. Perhaps if you're lucky and tell me what I need to know, I'll spare you. Now, I won't ask you again. Who's your supplier? Spit it out!
I can't. He'll kill me!
Decide then, now or later.
It's Sandir.
What? It can't be.
Yes, he's here. And he's going to cut you up, you bitch. He's going to kill you for what you've done. He never forgets. Ah!
I said I'd spare you.
Mr. Pearson?
Shit. Too early.
Shit.
It's just past midnight and now with some breaking news in regards to the recent release of convicted serial killer Johnny Wrexham. Earlier today, police were called to his apartment just off Sycamore Lane to discover an apparent suicide. His living room window had been smashed from the inside and Wrexham's body was discovered 10 stories below. Police are now investigating whether there was anyone else involved, as this could have been a revenge killing for the crimes he allegedly committed 2 years ago.
Hello. Oh, this again. Sophia, if that's you... I'm not going to fall for this twice. Sophia. Okay. Okay, very clever. If you don't come out, I'll have to shoot you this time. Sophia, if this is a test, then I swear to God... Okay. Joke's over. What the?
Hopper, get out of there now! It's Sandia! Hopper, can you hear me?
This seems familiar, doesn't it? I never thought I would find you so soon. and it appears you've left a little treat for me.
What have you done with Harper?
He's fine, my dear. Maybe you should come home. I've missed you so much, and we've got lots to talk about. Who knows, if you hurry, perhaps you can enjoy what's left of your precious little blood doll. You have 10 minutes.
If you harm him, I'll kill you.
Will you? It's funny how the past seems to repeat itself. We've been here before, you and I. And do you remember what happened? Do you remember his name?
Don't you dare bring him into this. Your kind are all the same, treating humans like cattle. But you think you're special, don't you, Sandia? You think you're a god. Well, you're nothing more than a filthy, degenerate vampire.
Vampire! You stupid girl. You stupid, naive little bitch. I'm more than you can imagine. I'm going to enjoy smashing your skull to pieces. By the way, you have 5 minutes before Harper's blood becomes your new doormat. See you soon.
Look, I don't know what you're doing in Liverpool, McDonagh, but you're going back to London tomorrow. I don't care what business you have to attend to.
I told you. I was out drinking with Harley. We were in a club when we heard gunshots. I ran upstairs to see what was happening. They were dead by the time I got here.
Don't play me for a fool, McDonagh. I know precisely why you were there. The doorman's already confirmed you were speaking to Pearson before his murder, and now you're either a key witness or a prime suspect.
Then you can't cart me off to London, can you? You have to follow procedure.
I can do whatever I want, McDonagh. If I can have you bollock naked sitting in this shitty cell for the next few hours, then I will.
I told you my clothes are clean. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Can I have at least a game?
I told you we're out. You should have thought about the consequences before you got involved. No wonder you lost out with Wrexham. You're a disgrace, McDonagh. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you killed him.
Are you accusing me? Oh, you have an alibi.
No, I'm not accusing you because I'm smart enough to realise you can't be in 2 places at once.
Welcome home, my dear. I suppose you can see the predicament I've created for your precious little blood doll. Take one step and my finger might slip on the switch, and you'll have to watch him strangle to death. The fun you can have with a ceiling fan.
Enough! What do you want with me?
I only want to talk, but this is just for insurance. We didn't part company on the best of terms the last time we met. I just wanted to put the record straight.
And how do you propose undoing that?
I didn't come here to kill you. I came to warn you.
I beg to differ. You're making a name for yourself, Sander, cutting up humans, treating them like cattle.
As opposed to what? The jumped-up fairy tale the Order has created for them? They live a fragile existence, Sophia. I'm just speeding up the process.
Why? For what purpose?
Allegiances must be made amongst us. I'm warning you, keep your eye on that blood doll of yours, because a storm is coming, and you better decide what side you're fighting on.
And what if I decide to take my own side? As always.
Then you'll soon learn. If you're not with us, you're against us. I'll give you time to decide. Don't shoot the messenger.